All right, let's see. I think we are live. Let's take a look here. There we go. Gonna grab the link here. Put it into my Discord, of course. So we're gonna go ahead and open up Discord, which I might need to log into because I did have to completely scrub my history, mainly because I was getting a bunch of errors in terms of getting Hero Wars going, and Hero Wars is still not running perfect for me, but it's actually running, which is an improvement compared to where I was at before. The game just was not wanting to load up, so hopefully we are able to deal with not too many issues, I'm hoping. But we'll see here. Let me grab this app here and make sure that it is up and running. If I can find it. There we go. Hey Gary H, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. We've got Gujo in the house. Hey, howdy. Nice to have you here. Incognito is here as well. Thank you guys for joining the live stream. I know a lot of you guys are asking about rewards, and I'll probably say this a few times through. Hey, Irain. Yeah, so there is no current giveaway at this time right this second. I'm actually still trying to give out all the rewards for the past giveaway, which was the YouTube video that was just talked about before. So that I'm getting through. You can still see I have a bunch of messages. That's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people I need to get to. And then I also have a bunch of YouTube comments I need to sift through to make sure I get all rewards out. So I'm still kind of dealing with sending out rewards for the last little giveaway that I say little, but the big giveaway that we had. Still working our way through it. It's pretty intense. It's not like a easy thing. It should be a little easier, but because of the connection with my Wi-Fi and everything, it's becoming a little more difficult. But we're getting through it, and we're going. So right now, obviously, in Hero Wars, we have the Fire, Earth, and Water Titan events going on. They're all right. I'm not crazy about them. I mean, obviously, I'll take any energy that Hero Wars is willing to offer, assuming that I can log into the game. I mean, I get this screen loaded up pretty quick, but sometimes I don't always get into the screen. You can see here just by me clicking on the close button for the purchase. You can tell, it's been a while. And we're frozen here at 12 seconds. So, I'm just getting frozen out of Hero Wars here. Been having a lot of trouble trying to play, which doesn't allow me to really send gifts either, because if I can't even get past the first main page, we're having problems. So that's one example there. I'll try opening this one as well. You can kind of see there's nothing else really open on my computer other than this and the software that runs to stream. And even without the stream, right, when I'm no one else using any Wi-Fi or anything like that, program's not always working. So it's been hit or miss so far. Yeah, Anthony Smith already went over that. Sent out about half the gifts so far. And I still have to go through about 70 comments or so. I did go through 50, but then I got some more as I was responding through. Some people didn't give me their IDs yet. Some people have. Then I have to kind of keep looking through. It's been kind of a sorting through process, but we'll get there. And in the future, I'll probably just ask for people to put their ID in the contest. I didn't realize that there would be so many winners that didn't have their ID available right away. So, kind of slowly going through it. The other issue, too, is when I do type in the ID, sometimes the game freezes up on me. That's causing some issues, too, but again, we're getting through it. It's not perfect science right now, but we'll get through it. We'll get it all fixed. I did finally get in the game here, so we got to upgrade Ishmael a touch there. Try playing on Google Chrome. I will once I figure out what my Facebook password is. Same for my Hero Wars web ID. I'll have to look through that and get that all sorted. I've never had a problem with Safari before, so like I don't know what's been going on lately, but definitely having some issues with that. As we talk though, we are finally in the game, so I can't complain about that. We are picking up some items here from Riotous Growth. I mean, I already have my Angus complete, so I get all these rewards for free, which is nice. Same with Silva. So I can't really complain because I do have a lot of these already complete, but I couldn't even get in. And like what, this is the very last day, couple hours left on this event. So I really am glad that this event doesn't require a whole lot of me because I've already done a lot of this. But it is kind of frustrating that I wasn't even able to claim until today. Obviously, ooh, those are kind of nice. Bummer I won't be able to get a couple more of those. I mean, at most I would have done 15, so can't complain too much. But I definitely would have liked to maybe get a couple more awards, but it's all right. We'll take what we can get. And definitely one of the more frustrating times for me right now in Hero Wars. I just haven't been able to get in the game. Just been having a whole lot of Wi-Fi issues. Gonna have to figure out a new provider pretty soon at this point because it's just frustrating. But we'll get it sorted. I mean, so far it's running a lot smoother right now. I mean, I've cleared my history multiple times, reset my computer. Yeah, so we'll try some different things for sure. Hey Wally, nice to have you here. Incognito, there's no current contest running, so don't worry about that right now. But if you are talking about the rewards, and I don't know who I have and haven't sent rewards to right now on YouTube, I did comment when I did send it, or if I'm asking for an ID. But in terms of actually, if I didn't ask you explicitly on YouTube, don't worry about it for right now, Incognito. That's kind of where we're at with that. Hey, Vitamin, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. We're not going to have a long stream today because, quite frankly, I'm not really sure how long everything will stay intact, if I'm being completely honest. It's been that bad. But I'm glad I actually have some access right now. Usually I don't, and I'm just like trying to do the bare minimum so that I can like say I'm still active. But it's definitely rough going so far in Hero Wars for me, right, in terms of playing. So I definitely haven't been on top of the 8-ball, but here we got some upgrades. I would have liked to have saved that, but that's okay. Let's see, this is Tenebrous. We will upgrade that last item, the seal. No need to do too much there. Yari still doesn't have that first, or sorry, Solaris doesn't quite have that first artifact awakened yet. Just going to slowly make our way there. We still have Brewster and Rigel, who are not absolute either. But I figure since it is a Titan event, we might try to pull them if I have enough of the summoning circle, or summoning spheres, excuse me. And let's see. Circle of summoning, we have 6. Feel like there might be a couple in my inbox, but again, I haven't even been able to claim because it's been such a glitchy process for me in playing. I just have not been able to do too much that I'd like to normally do. It's been brutal, guys. It's been absolutely brutal. And I have been sending out some rewards, which is good when I can get in, but more than half the time it's been a real struggle. Okay. Did get some gift rewards from that last event. Nice. A lot of skin stones. Not going to complain about that at all. Hey, Lefty River. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Incognito, if I did not respond, well, check my responses because I probably did message you. Yeah, so just respond to my message on your comment, most likely. So we're going to grab those gifts. Thank goodness they're still there. We got some Summerfest items still live. I couldn't play Summerfest at all. I didn't even have access to the game. Like, the game would not load for me during Summerfest. So I missed that entire event. Not happy about that, but it is what it is. Hey, John Lesson. Nice to have you here. We also got John Jensen in the house. Lefty River, just fire questions if you've got them. More than happy to try to answer them if possible. Yeah, just been really struggling though getting onto Hero Wars platform personally up until this point. This is the only device I have connected to the Wi-Fi right now. That's how brutal it's been. But I'm glad it's at least working. Before it was not even connecting me, so that was not great. Anthony, I think if you want to, put it on YouTube, that make my life easier personally. But if you want to just wait, you can. There's no big rush on that. I will get all the gifts out eventually. It's just going to take me some time because Hero Wars, the game platform, hasn't been cooperating for the most part. Right now it is, which is nice. But again, I had to cut off my phone's on data right now. Everything else that I normally use for production is down, so like it's kind of annoying. But we'll get it sorted out. We'll get it sorted out for sure. Anthony, if you can put it on YouTube, that's easier for me. I did probably ask you, and if I didn't, probably just because I know that you messaged me about it before. But I will get everything out there, so don't worry about it too much. Lefty River says, I have the water totem. How do I get a green totem, so the earth totem, without spending real money? Yeah, so the easiest way, unfortunately, is to keep spending emeralds. And the best way to get emeralds is actually to simply keep battling in the arena, which probably isn't the most helpful answer, but that is the most genuine answer. So your first two totems are always dictated by your strongest combined Titan strength. So when you pull, right, from the Tournament of Elements, is that right? No, the Altar of Elements, excuse me. When you pull from the Altar of Elements, the first two times your combined Titan strength, so all your Earth Titans, all your Fire Titans, all your Water Titans, their strength gets combined. And when that happens, whatever the strongest one is, that's the first two totems you're going to get. It always works that way. So if you already got your first two, the next ones are all random. So the first two are known for sure. After that, it becomes random. The only other way I can think of that where you can for sure guarantee a totem is during Winterfest or like winning a grand prize, which is super difficult to do and super rare. So like it's really tough to like guarantee that you're going to get an earth totem for the most part. Unfortunately, after those first two. E-Rain, I have not gotten those results yet. Those are expected to come in during December. We'll let you know. Yeah, I hear you, Lefty River. No, so it's not only your tank. It's based on your entire team. So if you were to, for example, go to Titan Challenge, use your current team, and you go all of your Earth Titans. So the 4 combined strength is 699,490. And let's see here, I have my Water Titans. My combined strength is 6,969, so it's stronger. And I have my Fire Titans, and they're all, 6,968. So the Water Titans are, based on power, a little stronger, I believe, if my math is right. Which means that I'm going to get a Water Totem for the first two pulls, because that's my strongest 4 set of Titans. If I have only 2, then that means my total strength would be a lot weaker. If you have all 4, you're more likely to have a stronger team. So that's how the first 2 totems go. After that, it does make it a little more difficult. Leveling up your tank is great. Yeah, anything to make your Titans stronger for your Earth team. If you do not have your first 2 totems in general, right? If you have 2 water totems already, then you're probably then the rest of the totems are going to be random, and that's how it gets pulled, unfortunately. So it really depends on if you have your first 2 or not. I hope that makes sense. Right, that does increase your odds of getting a totem if you have stronger Earth Titans, yes. But again, only the first 2 are guaranteed that you're going to know what's coming. After that, it gets a lot more random. Actually, entirely random until you get all 6 of one type, then you're not going to get that one. You just have the water totem, yep. Hey Maverick, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. We're going to cruise right through. Why I say cruise, like it's going to be normal. We'll see. Hopefully, don't have any glitches here as we go through. But we will be cleaning up this adventure here. All right. So we got that win in. I'm going to go here. All right. Yeah, no, absolutely happy to help, Lefty. Happy to help. Glad that helped you out there. You can see here we're getting some slow loading in here. What I'm going to do here, though, the game plan for this particular stream, if you guys got questions, I'll answer them. If you don't, you know, that's all right. The plan is going to be mainly to kind of just run through. Whoa, did I go the wrong way? Totally went the wrong way on this adventure because I wasn't paying attention. My guildmates might kill me. God, sloppy. That's bad. That's a really bad mistake. I can't believe that just happened. Anyway. Yeah, that's definitely another way, Wally. Wally's got it. He's on the mark there. Yeah, the Altar of Elements, just kind of like an absolute crapshoot right now. I mean, it's just so many random things. E-Rain, that's a loaded question. I hear you. I hear you. I do think there is something to the indictments. But as for abuse of power, I would personally say I need to look at kind of what charges are being assumed right now, because there's been a bunch. So like there's been a bunch that have been thrown around that are going to be allegedly in the case. I haven't seen the case personally, right? So with that, do I think that there's something there? There's definitely something there that he should be indicted for, but as for what it is specifically, I don't entirely know because I don't have all the facts, right? So when you're looking at a legal case, you have some evidence, but then obviously you're claiming typically that there is more evidence to back what you're saying. So like when you're getting indicted, basically they're saying you did something that was very, very wrong against the government, typically, or you broke some kind of law, right? So now you need evidence to back that up, right? If you're just saying that, doesn't really mean necessarily. No, not at all. But I would just say, like, in terms of that kind of a situation, I would definitely need more information, personally. But from an outside perspective, what you need is you need to have proof to back up any indictment proceedings. But I will say just having an indictment brought up against you is kind of a serious accusation. So it's definitely a big deal. Definitely doesn't make you look good. And I don't know if I mean, if it turns out there's nothing there, then he's good. But I will say, usually not everything is disclosed to the public. I think Wally might be making a point here. Let me read what he's saying as well. It's just really hard to kind of determine what's right and what's wrong with the indictments that are going on right now. Obviously, Trump has had tax fraud problems in the past. I mean, the whole building of Trump Tower, he basically just didn't pay any of his debts, right? And he should have gone to jail, but he didn't because he paid more money, took out a loan, paid it off. But as for what's going on right now, I would need a lot more information. Don't have quite enough to determine yay or nay on what's going on. Let's see what Wally says, though. Isn't it true that when presidents are charged with a crime, they handle it behind the scenes and not over the news as we have it now? I would say yes and no. So because presidents and because social figures now are in the spotlight, also what happened in this adventure? Did someone just absolutely mess this one up and it's not just me? All right, I don't know what's going on with this adventure, guys. Don't blame it on me because I don't know what's going on here. But and Lefty River, yeah, I'm going for that. That's the ultimate goal, yes. But yeah, okay, Wally. I will say 90% of the time you try to settle a case. You never want to go to trial if you don't have to. Is that 4 moves for me? All right, we might as well take down the boss in the one hit. But yeah, you never really want to go to trial. You always want to settle. if you can, because you get the best deal. In terms of things being handled in private, 90% of cases never go to trial. But it is true that settling is usually what happens. And when you settle, usually that does happen behind the scenes. Usually you agree to some kind of deal, right? And you say, okay, we're not going to give you all the charges. We'll take a guilty plea and X amount of money, and we'll just drop the suit altogether. But that assumes that the other side is willing to just say, you know what, we don't really care about, pressing you to full charges. If someone does care about pressing you to full charges, they're not going to accept a backroom deal, which could potentially cause a big issue, which is kind of what it looks like is going on right now. Is a lot of publicly provided information, not a whole lot of backroom deals going on yet, because they don't want there to be any backroom deals right now. E-Rain says, what is going on with the DOJ leaking things? What would cause an organization of government lawyers to become so undisciplined? It actually has nothing to do with that. And in fact, things that have been getting leaked have actually been getting leaked by law students, really. It's not lawyers. It's usually law students or clerks. So clerks are not officially lawyers typically. Sometimes they are. But usually clerks are first or second years out of law school who may or may not have taken the bar, right? You need to pass the bar to be a lawyer in that state. So if you are a clerk, you are not necessarily a lawyer. You might be, you might not be. And so if you leak that information, you have a lot less repercussion, other than the fact that you're probably not going to be a lawyer. Because if you're leaking secrets like that, you're probably not going to ever become a lawyer, because they don't trust that you're going to do that with a client. So, yeah, I mean, in the long run, these people are destroying their own potential careers, but they're doing it because they think that they're doing something right. So I don't think it has anything to do with an organization of government lawyers. It really has to do with kind of just younger people, kind of disclosing things that may or may not, in this case, probably should not be disclosed. But that's really what's happening, is these younger people are putting information out there that these old judges are now putting out there. And I really don't think that judges should be appointed for life, especially in the Supreme Court. Not my say, though. Not my say. Lefty says, so I go rob a bank and you have to defend me. I'm not going to make any promises, but, if you want to, if that ends up happening, I guess you can give me a call. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure, Wally. It's complicated. I will say the legal process is never straightforward, which is usually why you get these crappy answers that are like, oh, well, it depends on X, Y, Z. And there's always an exception. There's almost never a case where it's straightforward. If it's ever straightforward, you might want to look to see what other options you have for lawyers, because they're probably doing something wrong. You left both IDs on the Scorching Hot contest video. Thanks, Anthony. I will get through it. Appreciate your cooperation with everything. It's just been slow going. You can see here, I can't even close out of this heroic chess page. Now we can. But yeah, I've just been having some connectivity issues. Going to try to sort it out soon. It's like I went on vacation and the Wi-Fi went with me or something. But anyway, we will get everything back and running soon, and we'll be having regular streams starting probably next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, most likely. The goal this weekend, again, I was just trying to send out as many rewards as possible. I'm hoping to have all of that done before next Saturday, right? Hoping to have it all done. I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord as to what's kind of going on in the process, but definitely having a lot of connectivity issues. So if you don't hear from me, I'm just having Wi-Fi issues. I can probably use data, though, on my phone. So my plan resets on the 15th for my phone. So that should be working. I should be able to message you guys in Discord, keeping you guys kind of up to date on that. Lefty River, always giving away free stuff here. Not necessarily today, but next weekend, I'm kind of planning on doing a impromptu giveaway, and I think that's kind of what I'm going to do for the rest of this month, because I didn't prep a video. Probably should have, but we're already almost halfway through this month, and I feel bad for doing that. Also, again, Hero Wars Web is really shafting me on giving these gifts out. They seem to like give me gifts every other month, which is not how the content creator thing works. But I also probably should be posting some more content, and hopefully if the Wi-Fi holds, we'll be putting out some content soon. I always feel like I'm making it, but I'm not always putting it out there, kind of on me, but also kind of on my Wi-Fi. I'm going to blame it on the Wi-Fi, even though it's really on me. But we'll get the content out soon. It's just been a real process, and then when I went on vacation, it really kind of threw things off kilt. But we should be getting back to some normalcy here pretty soon, I'm hoping. Ideally, in the next couple days, I should have some stuff that people will be, it might be polarizing. Some people might like it, some people might not like it. Love to hear from you guys in the comments when it actually gets posted. But yeah, so we'll get stuff out very, very soon. And yeah, we'll keep it going. But yes, we will have new rewards out. Well, I say new. We'll have some rewards coming out ASAP as soon as I can get the rest of these sent out. I don't really want to be owing anyone gifts, right? Okay, of course I hit the wrong button there. But I don't want to be owing anyone gifts in terms of Hero Wars. So I want to send out these as fast as possible. The next weekend I want to have some winners. Yeah, right, Wally? It's like I'm always trying, but it doesn't always get out there cleanly. Lefty says I'm working Japan back-to-back 8-hour shifts. Whew. Wow. Glad you have a holiday, Lefty River. It is tough. I hear you, man. I hear you. Incognito, I believe it is at the end of the month, so I'll know on August 30th. As for July, they like do it sporadically. They don't do every single month where they hand out rewards. But yes, I would be getting rewards, Incognito, the more that everyone is using my links. So I appreciate you guys doing that. Yeah, definitely process. And of course, we're freezing up here again. Just hoping to get one. Well, I'm probably just going to look at the shop here and see if I can get anything. And if we can, we'll also do our tower run. Then we'll clean up by maybe getting one shot. Well, I was going to say one shot of Osh, but I don't think we'll have enough bandwidth. Just the Wi-Fi has been brutal. But yeah, we'll see if we can even get to the shop. If we get through the shop, we will get that all done. Absolutely, Lefty, I got you. But yeah, so I will probably wrap this stream up after check out the shop, and we will. I really would like to put out a new tier list. I always find those super funny because some people get really upset about some of them, and they're like, "That's your personal ranking," and I'm like, all of these is always gonna be my personal ranking, and you know whether you agree with it or not, that's okay. But I always think it's really funny. Some of the comments I get in those videos are awesome. They're just awesome. And so like I feel like it's never like not a good idea to put one out because I just think it's so funny to see some of the answers and some of the outrage when someone's favorite hero is not necessarily in the top tier that they want. I mean, not everyone's going to be in a top tier. But yeah, I definitely have something put together. We'll see if that gets posted this week or next week, but it should be out pretty soon. I need to make a couple adjustments. I have this one just for Facebook and web. I do have one in mind for mobile, and the mobile people always get the most upset about their ranks for the heroes that they use. So I'm excited to kind of see how that all shakes out, but it should be a good time. Should be a good time. All right, so we got through the merchant, which is great. Can we get through the tower too? If we can get through the tower, I'll be happy if we can do airship and we'll wrap things up. But I will definitely be sending out rewards for everyone else. And it looks like pretty much everyone who is here on stream it will be or has gotten a reward recently, which is great. Love to see that. Yes, I will let you know, Lefty River, when that eventually happens. It's kind of a process, though. So once you even pass... So once you pass this final exam, right? So to become a lawyer, you need to pass 3 exams, typically. And then you have a hearing. So right now I'm on the 3rd exam section, right? and this is the hardest exam. It's the bar exam. So once you pass or don't pass that, you need to pass it. So if you don't pass it, it's only offered twice a year. You have to retake it. And you're only allowed to take it a certain number of times within a certain period of time. But again, it's only offered twice a year. So you got to really like kind of be patient if you don't pass. So once I know if I pass or not, I'll be probably going from there. If I didn't pass, I'll have to take it again. But if I did pass, then I have to do the application aspect. So either way, it's still going to be a process because there's going to be things that need to happen in terms of paperwork. There's a hearing. You actually have to fly out to the capital center, whether, of whatever state. So let's say you're in New York, you need to fly out to Albany and have a hearing. Or if you're in California, you need to go to Sacramento and have a hearing, so on and so forth. And then you basically, you have an interview. They're like, okay, you're good enough to be, you're of mental health. You have all the right recommendations. We have all the information that we asked of you, et cetera, et cetera. And then usually a couple months after that, they're like, you're approved or you're not approved. Then there's a ceremony. So you have to go back again later. It's not really a straightforward process in the U.S. But yeah, definitely. Incognito, a counter list. Okay, we can definitely put that in the works. I definitely do have some counters listed on my YouTube, but I'm probably going to refigure that a little bit. It's a little bit, I'm not going to say outdated, but there is some new information out, and obviously with the upgrades and changes that Hero Wars makes, there's always going to be changes. So I will get on that. I will make a list for sure. You never know, Lefty. I appreciate the kind words. But yeah, Incognito, definitely happy to make a counter list video. As for the Hunter Biden, I have been hearing a lot of news about Hunter Biden. I haven't seen anything on it, if I'm being completely honest. Let's see. A lot of investigations. Laptop scandal, struggles with addiction. I mean, I don't know the full extent, but a laptop scandal by itself doesn't necessarily mean anything to me. You need a lot more specificity. You need to be very specific in your claims. So, like, if you're saying, there's some scandal, you need a lot more information. I mean, obviously, tax fraud, right? IRS whistleblowers. I'm assuming, as soon as I see IRS, I'm assuming tax fraud. But I mean, usually with tax fraud, you just pay it and it goes away, especially if you're a rich person. Unfortunately or fortunately, that's typically how these things work, is if you're accused of tax fraud, they just want the money. The government wants their money. That's typically kind of what you're dealing with. So, I mean, we'll see what ends up happening here. And I need to read more on this because I've been hearing a lot about it. Don't know a whole lot about it. I guess I'll go to Wikipedia. Not a great source, so this is not legit. But let's see. All right, okay. If the store owner is claiming that he's legally blind, don't love that. Don't love that. Not a great witness. Political corruption, very vague. I don't know what that means. Because political corruption, it could be like 15, 20 different things. So, I mean, you really need a lot more specificity. And when you have different facts, they just have to be presented like pretty openly. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens here. I mean, you never really know what's going to come through. Gun and tax cases. I mean, gun and tax cases are going to be, I mean, I feel like the tax stuff, usually you pay them. Pay any taxes you still owe, and probably some kind of fee, then you're typically good to go. So, I mean, it's not really a big news story, but I guess, news outlets will tell you whatever they want to tell you, but typically it's not a very big deal. If we're talking about gun cases, again, I mean, typically you pay a fee, right? Because you probably just violated some gun law. And gun laws, especially in New York, if that's where they're at, they change all the time. And I don't really know enough there, so I can't personally tell you enough there. Anthony's saying that he did a lot of damage to the Asgard boss, which I love to hear as well. Maybe I should try to get my Asgard hits in. I haven't been able to make a single hit in the last 4 weeks. My Wi-Fi has been so bad. So maybe I can get one hit in. It'll wrap things up on the stream, but maybe not too. We'll see if I can even log in. Probably not. That's all right. It's all right. I'm having fun just talking with y'all. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really entirely sure. Yeah, and so see, E-Rain, anytime you're pleading guilty to something, typically that's a settlement, in which what that means is basically like you don't really love the facts that are on your side. You don't know how bad the opposing side actually has you or doesn't have you, and you just want to avoid the ultimate like negative feedback. Basically, you're saying like I want to get rid of this ASAP. Doesn't mean he's guilty. Doesn't mean he's not, but I mean, obviously, if he's pleading guilty, he's going to say, like, I am guilty, because that is what you need to do to have a plead guilty situation. And obviously, to avoid FARA charges and other things, typically, you know, they tell you that's the best thing to do, because if you plead guilty to a lesser charge, typically works out better for you. And again, I have to always say a disclaimer. This is not legal advice. I'm not officially a lawyer, but in terms of just talking it out, right, and just kind of brainstorming it through here, I will say typically that looks like a plea bargain to me, which means you need to say I am guilty, but you get way less in terms of the damage, financially, potential jail time, and other charges. So obviously they're saying we'll drop these other charges if you just plead guilty to this other thing, and you'll just get a slap on the wrist versus the full 9 yards, which could potentially be a lot worse. But yeah, anyway, we will be sending out rewards to all of you guys. I promise we're going to try to get through all that. And thank you guys for your patience. We'll be having some winners next week. I don't really know what that means yet or how that's going to look. We will have some winners though. That's for sure. But yeah, we'll try to be live Saturday, Sunday. Going to try to have some content out. And obviously, I'm going to take the comment that I should have a counters video out for advisement as well. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on this stream today. Talked a little bit more legal than normal, which I'm perfectly okay with. Hopefully, you guys had a good time as well. But we'll be having more live streams next weekend. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon in Dominion. Hopefully it's working. And I'll see you guys next